Ricky Nelson, born Eric Hilliard Nelson in Teaneck, New Jersey on May 8, 1940, entered the world already connected to the entertainment industry. As the son of Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, both established performers, he grew up in an environment where radio studios, television sets, and public attention were part of everyday life. From childhood, he was not only observing show business but actively participating in it. His earliest exposure came through family-centered productions that blended real life with scripted storytelling, giving audiences a sense of intimacy with the Nelson household. This unusual upbringing shaped his confidence in front of the camera and prepared him for a career that would span acting and music. Unlike many child performers who struggled with transition, Ricky's early integration into entertainment gave him a natural ease with fame. However, growing up under constant public attention also meant his personal development was closely watched, setting the stage for both his early success and later challenges. The adventures of Ozzie and Harriet and rising fame Ricky Nelson's national recognition began with the long-running television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, where he appeared alongside his real-life family. The show, which depicted a fictionalized version of their everyday life, became a defining fixture of American television throughout the 1950s and early 1960s. Ricky transitioned from a supporting child role into a central teenage presence as the program evolved, allowing audiences to watch him grow up in real time. His natural charm and relaxed screen presence quickly made him a fan favorite, especially among younger viewers who saw him as relatable and aspirational. The series also served as a unique training ground, blending acting experience with exposure to live musical performance opportunities. This dual exposure helped him develop skills that would later define his career. While the show cemented his image as America's wholesome teenage son, it also subtly confined him within expectations that he would later work to expand beyond. Breakthrough in music and chart success. As Ricky Nelson matured, he successfully transitioned from television personality to recording artist, establishing himself as one of the earliest teen idols of rock and roll. His first major recording success came in 1957 with a cover of I'm Walking, which quickly climbed the charts and introduced him to a wider musical audience. This marked the beginning of a string of hits that defined his early music career, including songs like Poor Little Fool, Lonesome Town, Hello Mary Lou, and Travelin' Man. His smooth vocal style and understated delivery made his music accessible to both young fans and mainstream listeners at a time when rock and roll was still controversial in many circles. Nelson's frequent television appearances further amplified his reach, as he often performed his songs on national broadcasts. By the early 1960s, he had become one of the best-selling male recording artists in the United States, solidifying his place in the early history of popular rock music. Film roles and expansion into Hollywood. Beyond music and television, Ricky Nelson also developed a notable film career, appearing in a range of productions that showcased his versatility as a performer. His first major screen appearance came in Here Come the Nelsons, a film that capitalized on his family's popularity. He later gained further recognition through supporting and featured roles in Hollywood projects, including a memorable appearance in the western Rio Bravo, alongside major stars such as John Wayne and Dean Martin. His role added youthful energy to the production and demonstrated his ability to hold his own among established actors. Nelson also appeared in films like The Wackiest Ship in the Army and made guest appearances on various anthology television series, further broadening his acting portfolio. While he never fully shifted away from music, his film work helped reinforce his image as a multifaceted entertainer capable of crossing between mediums with ease during a highly competitive era in Hollywood. Musical evolution and the Stone Canyon Band era. As the 1960s progressed, Ricky Nelson faced changing musical trends that challenged his earlier teen idol image. Rather than abandoning music, he pursued a more mature artistic direction, eventually embracing a country rock style that distinguished him from his earlier pop sound. This evolution led to the formation of the Stone Canyon Band, a group that allowed him to explore deeper musical themes and more complex arrangements. One of his most significant later successes came with the song Garden Party, which reflected on his experiences performing for audiences who expected only his old hits. The track became both a commercial hit and a personal statement about artistic authenticity and independence. Its message emphasized the importance of self-expression over public expectation. This period of his career marked a creative rebirth, aligning him with emerging country rock movements that would later influence major acts in the 1970s. it also demonstrated his willingness to adapt while remaining true to his artistic instincts. Continued acting and television appearances. Even as his musical identity evolved, Ricky Nelson maintained an active presence in film and television throughout the 1960s and 1970s. He appeared in a variety of guest roles on popular series, often playing characters that highlighted both his charm and dramatic range. His performances included appearances in Western-themed shows, crime dramas, and anthology series, allowing him to remain visible to audiences across multiple generations. He also participated in television movies and special projects, such as Love and Kisses, which involved collaboration with his father. These appearances kept him connected to the entertainment industry, even during periods when his recording career was less dominant. Nelson's ability to shift between music and acting demonstrated his adaptability in an evolving media landscape. While he was no longer primarily viewed as a teen idol, his continued presence on screen reinforced his status as a familiar and enduring figure in American popular culture. Romance, family influence, and marriage to Chris Harmon. During his teenage years, Ricky Nelson's personal life attracted significant public attention, particularly his relationships and the influence of his family, especially his mother, Harriet Nelson. Harriet, who co-starred with him on their television series, was deeply involved in shaping his public image and often expressed concern about his romantic choices. She preferred that he focus on his career rather than becoming distracted by relationships that might affect his reputation. Despite this influence, Ricky eventually formed a lasting relationship with Kristen, Chris Harmon, daughter of football star Tom Harmon and actress Elise Knox. Their marriage in 1963 was widely celebrated as a union between two prominent American families. The relationship was viewed by many as stable and ideal at the time, reflecting shared values and public admiration. However, beneath the surface, balancing fame, family expectations, and personal freedom would later prove increasingly complex for the couple as their lives evolved under public scrutiny. Children, musical legacy, and the next generation Ricky Nelson and Chris Harmon had 4 children together, each of whom would later reflect aspects of their parents' creative legacy. Their daughter Tracy Nelson pursued acting, building a successful career in television and film. Their twin sons, Gunnar and Matthew Nelson, inherited their father's musical talent and later formed the rock band Nelson, which achieved commercial success in the early 1990s. Their hit song, Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection, reached the top of the charts, marking a rare 3-generation continuation of musical success within one family. Their youngest son, Sam, maintained a more private life but remained connected to the family's artistic heritage. Despite eventual personal challenges within the household, the Nelson family became an example of enduring entertainment lineage. Ricky's influence clearly extended beyond his own career, shaping the artistic paths of his children and reinforcing the long-term cultural footprint of the Nelson name in American entertainment history. Strain, separation, and the end of marriage. Over time, the marriage between Ricky Nelson and Chris Harmon began to experience significant strain. As Ricky's touring schedule increased and his efforts to revitalize his music career intensified, time spent with his family decreased. At the same time, personal differences and emotional distance began to widen between the couple. Reports of disagreements and growing incompatibility emerged, reflecting the pressures that often accompany long-term relationships in the public eye. While both remained committed to their children, maintaining the marriage became increasingly difficult. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the relationship had deteriorated beyond repair, leading to separation and a prolonged legal process involving custody and financial arrangements. Their divorce was finalized in 1982, ending nearly 2 decades of marriage. Although the separation was difficult, both individuals attempted to prioritize family stability in the aftermath, ensuring that their children remained supported despite the emotional and structural changes within the household. Later career years and shifting public presence. Following his divorce, Ricky Nelson continued to perform and record music while maintaining a steady but less commercially dominant presence in the entertainment industry. His later years were characterized by a blend of live performances, television appearances, and continued touring with his band. While he no longer occupied the same level of mainstream visibility as in his youth, he retained a loyal audience that appreciated both his classic hits and newer musical direction. His performances often reflected a more reflective tone, shaped by years of personal and professional experience. Nelson's artistic identity had evolved significantly from his teen idol beginnings, and he increasingly embraced a more grounded and authentic musical style. Despite changes in public taste, he remained active and committed to performing, demonstrating a long-standing dedication to his craft. His career trajectory illustrated both the challenges and resilience of maintaining relevance across multiple decades in the entertainment industry. The Final Flight and Tragic Crash. On December 31, 1985, Ricky Nelson boarded a Douglas DC-3 aircraft with members of his band and his fiancée, Helen Blair, en route to a New Year's Eve performance in Dallas, Texas. During the flight, a fire broke out inside the cabin, creating a rapidly deteriorating emergency situation. The aircraft eventually crashed near DeKalb, Texas, resulting in the deaths of Nelson, Blair, and several band members. Early accounts suggested possible mechanical failure, particularly involving a malfunctioning onboard heater system, though initial findings left several questions unresolved. The pilots managed to escape, but those in the main cabin were unable to survive the intense smoke and fire conditions. The incident immediately drew national attention due to Nelson's fame and the sudden, tragic nature of the crash. In the aftermath, uncertainty about the exact cause fueled widespread speculation and enduring public interest in what had led to the disaster. Investigation, findings, and enduring legacy. Subsequent investigations by aviation authorities concluded that the fire likely originated from a malfunctioning cabin heater in the aging aircraft, which had known maintenance issues prior to the flight. The system's faulty design and inadequate repairs contributed to conditions that allowed the fire to spread rapidly and uncontrollably. While rumors circulated about other possible causes, including drug use or sabotage, toxicology reports and forensic analysis did not support those theories.